everybody, and welcome to Survivor with Jamie, Jack, and Colleen. Except this week it is Survivor with Jamie, Amanda, Shanny, and Colleen. Hello.
Hi.
Amanda just heard the theme music for the first time. That was Jay and Jack doing
It's
that. I
delightful.
think it was actually just Jay. It was just Jay doing it.
I love your theme music.
Yeah. Oh gosh, this has been such an evening.
Oh well. Anyway, we're glad to have you here, everyone. Jack decided to go to sleep early. He has a flight at 5 o'clock in the morning. He is parking his car at my house at 4:30. I'm sorry, at like 3:30 in the morning. So he is out for the evening. But I brought in. Actually, you guys were volunteered to come on. We've got two great hosts. My co-host of the broadcast. It's a broad Survivor. Here we are. Hello.
Crossover. Are we officially into crossover
I
territory?
think we're in.
Ooh.
Or is
Let's call
it
it a
takeover?
crossover.
Or is this a merge?
I think we made the merge.
Oh.
I think we all
Yeah,
made the
Am I
merge.
using that term correctly?
Yes, and we
Yes.
voted Jack out first.
Yes.
Oh.
Only the good die young.
Oh man, yes. So we were all eagerly watching John Lovett, and as the episode went on, we were all kind of like Shandy and Amanda and I were like, I don't. This doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel
Starting to
good.
panic.
Too many confessionals.
Yep. Wasn't he like the very first person, like when they first premiered? You know, the
No,
opening. Was he the
I
first
believe it
person
was-
they showed?
No, I think it was Rome. Asia was shown before him. All of a sudden, he came
Yeah.
on like fourth or fifth. Like he didn't come on in the beginning, and I just obviously, as you know, I just like lost my complete shit.
Yeah. I noted. That's one of the things I wrote down on my tiny little page of notes.
Aw.
Sam, Asia, Kyle, Tiana, and then Lovett talked. Then Annika, then Sue, and then we got to the mat. So I was
To
like,
the
yay! And he gave a great mat chat.
Yeah.
Very excited.
That's where we found out that Andy was a poser for the first time. Oh,
Oh,
poor Andy.
I know. Hey, baby Andy, which is I've learned is his RHAP name. He's kind of got that Emily Flippin thing going on, right? That's why.
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
agree.
oh, maybe we'll get Annika. Maybe they'll get Annika out. There's always a third person. And then when what's his face, douchebag broadcaster McGee
Yeah.
was
not
like,
him.
no, I was like, well, fuck.
I want him to be next out. God damn it. I
Yeah,
want
he can't
the whole Gotta tribe gotta go. I'm
You know
really
what?
pissed at them
I'm
all.
so happy
Hey.
that you wrote gotta go, because I promise you, if you could read my writing, I literally have gotta go.
Well,
No, you do not.
in my original notes, it's the goddess tribe, but now it's the gotta go tribe because fuck them.
Yeah.
They're not. Bleep them all.
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot we're not on the broadcast.
Can I give my
Yes.
my
Oh yeah,
hot-
this is
my hot take on the
PG.
Gotta tribe?
Please.
Okay.
That John was the only nice one.
Yeah.
I
probably
would
the
agree
only
with that.
intelligent one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
feel like this happens to people probably every season. There's like a person or maybe a couple that just like,
It's
they're
the
just, like,
physically weak
it's
that get.
unfortunate that the tribe that they're put on and that particular like dynamic, he just like almost never had a shot.
Had a chance. Well, and then just a complete juxtaposition to our last season when we were watching somebody waking up in the middle of the night with panic attacks, and then
Yeah.
like the winner of the season is
Yes.
up with him every single
Yes.
night, and she's, you know, she definitely had a rough start to her game, but she's, you know, saying like it doesn't matter because at the end of the day we're all people, and so
Yeah.
you have to look out for each other, and this instant it's like, ew, get away from me, was the reaction to somebody having a panic, you know, panicking and feeling like they were on the house.
Yes, you're right. You're right. That's actually
And nobody
that's
was
a great observation.
nobody on his tribe was supportive of him except for John. And
Mhm.
But even John, like, you know, but to her credit, what's her face did try to like talk to him the next day and be like, we all like you. And John, said the same thing, but it's interesting because you always have that person and they usually survive the first episode, a la Emily Flippin, but, or they're out by like episode 2 because everybody realized they made a giant mistake, a la Brandon.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
What did he do? He fell off the ladder, right?
He couldn't even get up the ladder. He couldn't get up the ladder. He fell down another ladder. There was a lot of crying. It just wasn't good.
There was so much crying. And Lovett had tears in his eyes too when Jeff was snuffing his torch. I noticed things like that. Maybe I'm like awful because I'm like, I want to see if these people are crying.
I have found out though over the years, and I'm guessing that I wouldn't be the only one to see this, that quite often the first vote out personality tends to be one of the most like fun and engaging and interesting
because they're worried about social threats. When you can't, when you don't know people well enough, it's physical and social threats that lack of physical threat. Like you're not usually, because usually the people that are the weakest, they're the ones that
really smart and
but also
are gamers.
I didn't get the weak thing because I thought he did completely fine in the challenges.
Yeah, he actually surprised me with how fast his little feet were running.
Yeah.
He's a little guy, but he was keeping up with some of the lanky folks. So
yeah. I think it was more just that like those 4 clicked right away because they're all like the same age and vibe.
Yes.
And then he could never like get an in, which was just like, how can you not want to play with John? What is wrong with you?
I thought it was crazy that everybody was like, oh my God, we recognize you, Asia. But like John, they were like, oh, what's your podcast called? It's like, we do okay.
I mean, that does truly, like, that rung a little like fake to me.
With the podcast?
It's only, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm the interloper here.
No, most of the people that know Pod Save America are like engaged Democrats. So maybe he was on a tribe of either unengaged independents or like maggers or not Zoomers. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, guys.
I kind of wonder, do you think that like we talked about this on the preview, that Gabe, being that he's, worked with a Democratic campaign and so on, that kind of gives us an idea about Gabe.
Yes.
Do you think he knew who he was? Like
maybe
literally knew who he was?
I feel like, I don't want to, whatever, but I feel like he would have to have some kind of idea. I don't know. I'm just really bummed because it would have been a really fun season with him on it.
I know. I feel like we really got like so freaking robbed.
I know.
I'm just like so bummed about this. This is the most bummed I've been about somebody getting voted off for like a really long time. Because usually it's like, I mean, you get to know them. I was mentally
prepared though.
Yeah. I was in denial. I was like, no, it could all be fine. Just gotta believe.
I was prepared because we talked about this. I don't know if it was on a broadcast episode or before or after when we were chatting, but I did say, I was like, he's giving either first he's on Stephen Colbert being like, yeah, I was on Survivor, which nobody is ever allowed to reveal that they were on Survivor. So,
Well, but I mean, it was known at that point in time, and he's famous enough to go on Colbert, which is you can't say about almost anyone else, in the 47 seasons. So
and he's in
like,
that Colbert niche, right? Like,
right. There were people that were famous enough, though. I mean, Jeff Kent would have been like that on like ESPN or,
Well, and maybe he did go on ESPN and talk about it, but I wouldn't know because
I wasn't watching.
No, also never knew who Jeff Kent was, so and that's fine.
He's the guy that
I didn't know who he was.
I know that he was on Survivor, but
he's the one that taught me about how much $1 million gets taxed.
Oh, right. Yeah. Winnings get taxed at like 40% or something. Yes. Yeah, he's like, when Denise won, it was that season, right?
It was Malcolm's season. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she like won $1 million and he was like, well, it's only 600,000. And she was like, I can still do a lot with 600,000. Like that's still life-changing money.
No, that wasn't it. Okay. Amanda, let me just explain real quick and then we'll get back to the hand. So Jeff Kent is a baseball player, like a fairly, not like Derek Jeter famous, but like he's well known, right? like people that watch baseball know who he is. And he's also, I believe, like a Republican, and I think he's MAGA, right? Like
probably that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he played pre-MAGA, but I believe the sentiment too about the taxing was like, thanks Obama, and it was like, dude,
yes.
Didn't decide
so it was when he got voted out. I believe he gave a confession of like, I don't need it, but I would have liked to win the $1 million. Well, I guess it's like 650,000 after the government gets their share. Thanks Obama, but it wasn't thanks Obama. I don't think he even said that, but
that was the sentiment. Well, I remember that being conveyed
a big joke
somehow.
back then.
Did he get a Debbie hashtag? Did it say hashtag thanks Obama?
All right, let's talk about the episode at hand.
So wait, I have a few questions first.
Okay.
If I may.
Yes.
Question 1 about exit interviews. Didn't that used to be a thing, right? They would let
still a thing.
John Lovett did not get a swan song.
You
get your last words, which is what Lovett got.
You only get a few seconds. Like it's
I remember back in the day, because it's not that I've never watched Survivor. I just have not watched it since like the early days. But I remember like you could like there was like the 2 cameras. You're like leaving the tribal council, and like you got to talk to camera a little bit, and like
probably got more time.
Or you thinking about so you get to talk to the camera in your like little talking head when you leave, which is when Jeff Kent made his like comment about how he would have liked to win. But then once you get to the jury, they used to do these videos called Ponderosa videos, and that's when you would do a full-on like breakdown of everything as you were like going back to where the home,
like getting weighed and like
and you would show up to like to see your former people, because Ponderosa is the name of the place where they all go after they get voted out, even pre-merge, pre-merge people. So Lovett will go to Ponderosa right now, but then the pre-jury people that don't make the jury, they go on a pre-jury trip. So they'll be gone by the time the merge starts. And then those people go to Ponderosa, and that's where you used to make these videos. But was it season 40? No, season 41 or 42? It was Shan's season.
Yeah, I think it was 41. I think
41. Something happened. There was like untoward accusations of things going on at Ponderosa, and CBS decided to just like stop doing it. But it was after that, but it was a real bummer because those were really, really fun. Like it was a really fun videos.
Okay.
Anyway,
so follow-up question.
Yes.
I turned it off like when they went to the last commercial break before the credits. Should I have not done that?
Yes. His thing was at the credit. It goes over the credits.
Okay.
Yes,
so then what did he say?
Told us something about like his family's gonna make fun of him for the rest of his life.
Yeah, like everyone, his friends and family are gonna make so much fun of him. And they'll make them so happy that maybe that'll make it worth it eventually or something.
Yeah, but he said he's like it was fun. It was funny, but
it was very eloquent and fun. Yeah.
So anyway,
talked about taking a risk. Like that's why it's called a risk.
Got it. Second question.
Yes.
Is there ever scenarios, because again, like producers love to meddle in this show. This is a highly produced show. If the producers don't like someone that got voted off, like if they don't like that dynamic, do they ever try and bring them back into the game at any point?
So there used to be a thing called there used to be Redemption Island, which is a holding place for people that get voted off. And then every so often, was it once? It was once, right? Or was it every? It was anyway. They would get to compete to see who could go back into the game. The last person who did that was Rick Devens. Rick Devens he got voted out and then made it back in. And he got voted out right at the merge, and then he got voted back in later on. And he's the person that I thought that Lovett would have the other vibes. It was either he was going to have a Rick Devens path or he was going to have a first one out path, because they're both, commentators like in that way. But then they had something called Exile Island, and that kind of effed them a little bit, because Exile Island introduced us to the best first vote out ever. Her name was Reem, and she was queen of Exile Island, and she was just the absolute most amazing character. But the person that got voted that made it back into the game after Exile Island, Chris Underwood, he ended up winning the game. So he was like voted out pre-merge. He was pre-merge. He was in the game for all of like maybe 5 days total, 10 days total. And this was when they played 39 days.
Yeah,
so
he got to avoid so much.
So, but then again, he was in Exile Island, which had nothing.
Yeah.
So anyway, he made it back in and then won, and people were kind of pissed because they were like, okay, all these other people like played the game here, and you know, they just didn't like who their other finalists were, so they went with this guy because he put himself in to play fire. But anyway,
which to be fair, they should have known better, because like way back in like Pearl Islands, like season 7, they had this like band of people who got voted out in the pre-merge who also came back, and one of them almost won the game and was really, really annoying. And like that was not great. Luckily Sandra won, but like you know,
was it Lil?
Go there. Lil, yes.
Lil. Australia Survivor still will do every season. It's not like Exile Island. Like they'll have somebody who can they'll either have someone be able to fight their way back into the game, or what they'll often do is whoever gets voted out, and they're told ahead of time, whoever gets voted will go to the other tribe. Like they join the other tribe. Yes. And then sometimes they'll put out a pot that says, okay, now this person can decide if they want to come back to your tribe or stay with this tribe.
Well, that's interesting.
So sometimes they can pull a player back in that way. Like if someone leaves early or something, it's like a back pocket move for the production.
Yes.
And then of course there's returning player seasons.
I'm still waiting for that first person out season, because you know
I want that so much.
I want that so bad. There's been so many people that it's kind of interesting to see how they'd play.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this episode though, because we try to keep these to an hour, and if we don't do that, if we don't start now, all right. So Amanda, I feel like this is for you from Barry. This was the first episode of Survivor I've watched in about 10 years, and now I can ignore it again as they voted out the one person I was watching for.
Same, Barry, same.
Fair enough.
I know.
I saw. I don't feel like I need to keep watching now. This is enough ridiculous for me.
There was no bonding with other people on this island.
Okay, Amanda, why don't you tell us what you thought of this episode, the one and only episode of Survivor you'll watch until Levitt comes back for the first person voted out season.
I mean, I mean, there is a reason why this show has existed so long, right?
Yes.
Because, you know, it's very highly produced. It's very like silly and like hyper realism, but like it's also very watchable. So like it's like unenjoyable, it's enjoyable, you're like not really sure. Like I'm nervous. Why am I nervous? I actually like this is really stupid, but yet I'm nervous.
Oh my god, they capsized.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like they really do know what they're doing, but like it's also just a lot. And like the fact that like, you know, there is a clear formula to it. Like the fact that like you all have been watching this for a long time and you saw the train wreck before it actually occurred. So like
they try to misdirect, but they like always try to misdirect. So then it becomes like you can tell the misdirection. Although sometimes I'm still surprised.
Right.
Honestly.
But is that also part of the fun of watching? Is that it
Yes.
is comforting, and I think that is a lot of what reality television is. It is comfort food.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I would if you just look at the interviews of the people that are playing the game just this season that have been watching since they were kids, it's always the same thing. It is that. It's the comfort food. We come to it every week.
We have people that are watching this season, that are playing this season, that were born the year Survivor premiered.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That is wild.
Right?
Probably most of them are on the Gotta Go tribe, and they are
like
okay. First of all, can we talk?
So mad at them.
Like, there's so many people. I'm just like, these people suck.
Can we talk about how I called it though, that tribe was going to?
Yes, you did. You did. And you know what, Colleen? When they won that initial, like,
I know, I was like, oh my god. I
Yeah.
Never been so happy to be wrong. And then I watched them in the other challenge, and I was like,
yeah.
womp,
womp womp. Yeah, and it wasn't just like for me, it wasn't even just like, oh, this is disappointing because I see that we're going to lose John, because I kind of feared we were going to anyway. But then also to see that like Andy was such a dumpster fire when he did not give any indication of being easily caught up in himself, like in any of his interviews, you know, because
poor gentleman.
He's like us. He's a huge fan of the game, and he watches all the podcasts, and he's a patron, and he's just, you know, you'd see it coming, you would think, but no, he was not prepared for a feeling. And I don't even mean it really harshly to him, because I know myself, and I know I can get along with like any walk of life, but it wouldn't stop me from like totally feeling like I was alone in the group of new people.
Yeah.
You know, I would feel like, oh my God, I'm on the bottom, no matter what. Like I would be like, oh my God, I'm going to go. So,
well, yes, but everybody feels like that, except for, I guess, like Lovett said, if you have a big ego, then this is okay. So in his on the mat like thing, you know, he was like, hi, I'm a podcast host and I really care about what people think of me. You know, he makes a joke to what's his face, Andy, who had previously gone and said that he had like 4 friends in high school, and Lovett's like, 4 friends in high school, what's that like? And then, you know, Jeff asked a follow-up question or something, and he was like, well, you know what, I think we all want a chance to play this game, and you know, when we're actually here, all of a sudden like the pressure's on us to prove if we're like, you know, as good as we think we could be. And like for people with big egos, you know, that's great. And for people who don't have big egos, you know, it's not so good. And I think, you know, he read Andy correctly. Obviously, Andy is, and so many of us are insecure. But again, like you can't let that, you know, you got to go out fighting.
Yeah. And we've seen a lot of, I mean, over the years, we've seen a lot of players who, for, you know, their first, you know, 1 or 2 episodes, they just seem like, oh my God, these people are not going to make it. But you watch those people grow and their game changes, like Emily last year, like you're comparing here. And honestly, I think that production and Jeff specifically look for that person, because I think it's part of that comfort food is getting to watch somebody who's an underdog, like
come into themselves.
You're on a real hero's journey.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I just coming back to like those first scenes with the Gada tribe. And I remember Andy and John going off to get like bamboo. And this is like a tale as old as time. And of course, so many things happened and we didn't see like all the other things. They could have been with the tribe like the entire day and just like gone off for a second to do something for the tribe, to get like bamboo. And that's like up.
And so that's part of like watching. That's part of like watching the edit though, Amanda. And just like when the reason I knew John was going home was because other than the, you know, Andy saying I want Annika and then them having that scene and he was like, I don't know. We got nothing of any scrambling, no other, you know, strategizing, like how can I make this better? Like there was nothing. There was
they tied it up in a really pretty clear bow.
Right. Like, and when it's when it's all there, they might show you, even though the obvious person goes home, but clearly there, you know, it wasn't all whatever there.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just really bummed out that he
same here
in the tribe that he was in. I am, however, really happy that we got to have a little moment where we got to see Teeny, you know, like say, Asia, like I know who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know you. Big fan.
We also got a confessional. We'll get a reference from Teeny, which I believe Jack would have appreciated, or he will when he watches the episode, where she's talking about her fashion.
Yes.
Remember, Jack was highly offended by her
down
fashion.
It was really a big choice for him with his winner's pick is all based on the fashion.
I mean, I guess like whatever system works.
In what way, may I ask?
So,
well, I mean, like one person had a pocket on their tank top, and even though
he does not like
a clear picture of like, you know, a final 5 wasn't going to happen. Who puts a pocket on a tank top?
Yes.
So,
I'm sure they didn't make the tank top
Exactly.
themselves.
but I mean, this was the criteria Jack laid out for himself.
Jack likes to be he's like a love it. He's a comedian. So
He's
he
a funny
finds
guy,
these
that Jack.
things.
I mean, to be fair, like sometimes you put a ton of thought into it and then are completely wrong. So why not? It's like the alphabet strategy, like whatever works.
Yes, the alphabet strategy.
Yeah.
What's the alphabet strategy?
It's like the first season. One of the, I
don't
do
even
not
remember
remember
his
his name. But you know, when they're like figuring out how to play the game and like alliances aren't really kind of a thing yet. And one of the contestants, like he just decided to go down the alphabet because he felt bad about voting people out. So it's it was the alphabet strategy.
Your turn's up.
Yeah. Okay. Valid.
So, you know, if whoever was first in the alphabet in the tribe that was left, that's who he was going to vote for.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the idea of that. Like, if something like that were to happen now, that these players would try to find a way to strategize, like based off of the alphabet theory.
No, but actually, I mean, if somebody's doing that and you know it, then you you can use that because then if you know a vote's going a certain way, then you can pile on if you want
an
to.
extra vote without having to socially extend yourself to get it. So
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I liked Teeny.
Teeny was great.
She did not disappoint. Her interviews and I love her face. Just love her face. And
I believe Teeny uses they them pronouns because I heard people talking about them on a different podcast.
Oh, they do.
Okay. And I didn't see it in the EW article, but that was all like first person. So anyway, but I really, really like Teeny a lot. Very excited.
Yeah, lots of good energy and funny. So
there's some really good people, but now there's like a whole tribe of people that I don't like, which I'm sorry anyone that's on the Gada tribe, but I'm also not sorry.
I'm with you. I was laughing because like everything happening with Andy and seeing his struggle and how it was going for him, I kind of thought that Colleen and Jack and I were getting like karma for last year. Our first boot pick almost won the game.
And the only reason he didn't win is because
he got backstabbed bad.
Yeah,
he got backstabbed so bad.
So hard. So yeah, it's fitting that the person that all three of us have on our winners pick would be going home. But he's still there.
Yes. Okay. Zachary's still awake. I'm going to go shut his light off for now the third time since 9:30. Jamie, take the wheel. I'll be right back.
All right.
Hopefully, I'm going to mute myself so you don't hear me getting mommy on him. Okay.
The mommy voice is coming out. What did you guys think of the first challenge to get their flint and supplies? And I kind of think like the first challenge to me is one of my favorite ones because they're never going to be at better physical condition for the rest of them.
That's true.
And they are at that challenge. So it's a good way to kind of scope out who is actually good at the physical part. And even the puzzles really, because I don't know about you, but if I'm hungry, I'm not doing math. It's not happening.
I mean, even if I'm fully like satiated, I'm not.
Yeah. It's
sated?
Not
Is that's maybe the correct word?
Whatever, we know what you meant.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. No, I thought it was. I liked it. I guess it was different, but it also wasn't brand new because we've had that like going through the mud, grabbing big pieces. So
covered themselves in fake blood or.
True. They didn't have that option this time, but I thought it was fine. I was so excited. Again, like not to bring it all back to Gada, but I was very excited that they won. I thought that bode well for them potentially, and showed that like they could also be a physical tribe. It was fine. They were definitely hot. Out there, like you could see. I think because I was so laser focused in on Lovett, I saw like at one point, even before the challenge, I think he was like, whew, and then
ripping.
Which ties into Andy's state later, but that's the other thing. Like, there's the hunger, but there's also like the heat.
Yeah.
the environment or the elements.
Yeah.
I kind of did any of you kind of think maybe a little bit Andy was kind of faking his medical emergency?
I was actually going to ask that, but I wasn't sure if it was in poor form
well, I feel
to make light of someone's mental breakdown.
I mean, the fact that he was kind of like, oh, I'm going home. This isn't the way I thought it was going to be. And then that happened. I was like, well, that's one way of not having
and
to
was
quit.
speaking in like a strange tense. It like wasn't past tense. It wasn't present tense. He was just like speaking in a very, which, you know, again, could be part of heat exhaustion. I don't know. But the whole thing did feel as
I mean, they did have to like go through the ocean and carry a big wooden boat filled with water and, you know.
As somebody who, as a small child, had to go to the nurse's station at Disneyland because of overheating, I completely empathize. It would put any of us like thing. Very light-skinned.
I am a fainter. I get it. I have been that person more times than I can count.
I think it was probably a combination though. I think there was like some physical, like actual sort of like exhaustion, you know, heat, etc. And then combined maybe with the like sort of panic and everything.
It kind of felt like it kind of felt like Jeff was almost a little bit like, yeah, okay, buddy. Like, all right, have some water. And they're there.
Well, like, I love you, Jeff.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I love you too, guy. But I don't know.
It's gonna stick with me for a while. Like you could have just been like, I love you, Jeff.
It's like, it just felt. I mean, we've seen a lot of like medvacs and emergencies, but I don't know. That one felt.
Oh, I think he was exaggerating it.
Yeah, it felt weird. Yes. Okay.
I think he was exaggerating it. I think he looked at them, knew they were going to lose, panicked, and quit, and then needed to cover it up. It's kind of like when you're in high school and you're like late to class for like the 5th time, and you know you're going to get like a detention. So you like walk in, you're like, oh yeah, you'll never believe what happened to me in the hall.
I feel very, very ill.
Heat exhaustion. I gave it everything I had. I ran from the bus straight to the door. Yeah. It was. I just felt like, oh, maybe this is maybe this is a soft quit, right? Is that a quiet quit?
I was kind of hoping that it was a soft quit.
For a show you volunteered for and signed your life away to.
I was hoping it was a. Honestly,
People
I was hoping
quit jobs. They quit managers, buddy.
Yeah. No, but I was actually kind of hoping that he would quit because I was like, okay, if he quits, then Lovett sees another day.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, but also I'm sorry.
It sounds like Shandy, you were watching this with the same like just absolute terror that I was watching. Second chance.
I thought of you. I seriously, and in my mind, I was like, the only silver lining is this is like when Colleen was watching Game Changers or Second Chances. And when finally when Steven was voted out, at least she didn't have the stress every week of like wondering if Fishback was going to stay in or not. And I was like, that was like, to me, I was like, okay, well, I guess for the whole entire rest of the season, I won't have that stress, but I would have that stress.
You'll find somebody.
Same.
You'll find somebody.
I mean, there are plenty of other people to root for on the other tribes, but
Zachary is rooting. Yeah, I'm not rooting for any. I mean, Andy, I guess, underdog, fine, but I'm not really rooting for any of the other people on that tribe.
Yeah.
Zachary was standing TK real hard.
TK's awesome. Asia's awesome.
I started freaking out when Asia was getting lost. I'm like, no,
I know.
No, just I
thought she was going to win. I was like,
I know. She was so close.
As soon as she said my tribe is going to be so proud of me, I was like, oh, she's not going to get it.
But it does seem like she's recovered well. Although we'll see, like, if she and TK both get to the merge, it'll be interesting because they did have that awkward moment of her trying to steal his. You know,
but that's part of the game.
It is part of the game, but you know he's gonna. I mean, he's already using it because of course he uses it.
It was so cute though. Like it was so funny because it was like, I'm gonna get that from him, and then she's like, oh, better not.
Yeah.
The game, right? I had to try. I had to try. You wouldn't fall me for just trying.
Yeah, you got to go for it. But yeah,
well,
no, but they're great.
Like she's like the antithesis to like the John Lovett, where like she was able to use her intelligence and her lack of like physical strength and brawn, like, you know, just it was a good example of like what Shandy, what you're saying. It's like, you know, in a different scenario, you know, things can work out. It really like it's so situational.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if Lovett had been on her tribe or the other tribe, like it would have been a totally different situation. I'm like convinced of that for sure. He just like really.
I would have loved to have been able to see the two of them work together.
You know what? For some reason, I thought they were on the same tribe, and then I was so disappointed when I saw they weren't. I was
how do tribes get picked? Does that happen?
Production.
Like, okay.
Production.
And I think they try to. They try to, you know, like obviously like have an more or less equal like distribution of like men and women, age, like different factors. But a lot of times there is kind of a tribe that's like not
I would imagine interloper here, but I would imagine they do it for dramatic effect. They look at their cast of characters and they think about storylines. Again, a show that is fairly formulaic, that they think about like, oh, like this character can be like, you know, this character.
This person is
could be this kind of scenario.
Yes.
Like I think that's
these people are going to hate each other. Let's put them together. Yeah, for sure.
An extreme introvert and then like the super hyper extrovert, and we're going to put them together.
Yes. But you sometimes get these tribes where like one is stacked and then like one is kind of not, and
like a schoolyard pick, and you're like, why are all of these much smaller, you know, people on one tribe, and then you've got these titans.
Yeah. And that's where I would say to production, like you have somebody like John Lovett who you know is like going to be awesome and also going to bring a lot of viewers. Why wouldn't you put him on the stacked tribe?
Yeah,
like for real. But
unless they just wanted big numbers on the first episode, and
there can only be one star of the show, Shandy, and that star goes via Mr. Jeff.
I mean, that's valid. That's a very valid critique.
I mean, because John Lovett is somebody who could outshine him at every single tribal and every single time somebody talks.
No, I don't know. He loves that. He loves. I feel like
that. He does love that.
He does. I mean, he does. He strikes me as someone who likes to be. He doesn't like to be like totally outshined. It is his show.
But he likes somebody that likes is great with analogies and like metaphors. He loves that. However, I mean,
I don't know. I think Jeff would have liked to have him longer on the show. And Jeff literally said in an EW article that Lovett was one of the best like speakers they have ever will ever have on the show.
Oh,
okay, guys,
he was a threat.
We got to focus here because there's more than just Lovett on this show this season.
Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. That's fine. That's all good. That's all good. Okay. So focus here. Well, who do we think about? How do we think about some of the other tribes? So what about Sue and Carolyn and not Rome? What's his name? Sue, Carolyn, and Gabe. Thank you.
The case of the missing shoes. Is he barefoot? Is he wearing shoes? Where do the shoes go?
Also, like I don't think it's a very good idea to walk around barefoot
But real slip up. He's walking barefoot up to the box, and then he opens the box and he's wearing shoes, and then he walks away from the box and he's not wearing shoes. What's that about, guys?
I think that's something called reshoot.
I think so too.
Edit.
This is why it's great to have somebody.
Supervisor took the day off.
That's why it's great to have someone who works in TV production, because you notice that shit, that stuff. Sorry.
I was just so baffled with like, why is this man running through the forest with his shoes on?
See, I noticed that sometimes he had his shoes on and sometimes he didn't, but I wasn't like I was not tracking the sort of like continuity thing.
Yeah, continuity's bad.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, don't walk barefoot. You're gonna walk on something that
hurt yourself.
You're gonna get like a worm up your foot. Like don't.
Yeah, something bad's gonna happen. There's gonna be some parasites. And
that's how mine goes. Don't do that. Yeah.
He's gotta go.
I wish that, again, I mean, we kind of talk about it every season since they did the 3 tribe thing. I mean, we had 2 hours and like we met 4 people is kind of what it felt like. because there's so many tribes, it's hard to kind of get a storyline or really get to introduce a bunch of other people. But I mean, like, I don't think we ever actually even saw Kyle. Do you remember seeing Kyle at any point?
Who's Kyle again?
Kyle's the one.
Truly, like who? Yeah, it's too many people. I don't know names.
Kyle is the one that we all loved in our in the pre-show stuff. He grew up in poverty and he ended up
love Kyle. Yeah.
Love him.
Right, he's the one that's talking about he came from a town that had like a stoplight when they're all like in the water.
Yeah, and he like lived.
He has a really inspirational story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he could have. Yeah.
I didn't really. And we got some of the tribe because we did. I mean, but mostly it was Gabe and Sue. More than
So what do we think of Sue? Everyone wants to work with her, which is exactly what you and Jack thought.
They all wanted to work with her before she ever opened her mouth. Like the woman just must radiate the best kind of energy. So,
okay. She made me think of this. So with like Lovett being 41, he's like the old guy on the tribe.
Yeah,
he's wild, right? That is wild that you're the old guy on the tribe at 41.
Yeah,
it does hurt a little bit because I always thought I would be like, because he's a young 41. Like if he didn't tell
for sure
you he was 41, like you would think, oh, he's like 35, 36, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's not gonna pass for 20s, but like he looks younger than he is. But oh my God, it just made me think. I was like, oh my God, if I ever go on Survivor, I don't even know if I would be like the mom archetype. I might just be the old lady archetype on my but you have to get through that awkwardness. Like once you get to like your what is Sue 59? Once you get to like your late 50s, all of a sudden like you're golden again. People are like, yes, this old lady's not threatening.
Well, and it worked out really well for her to be on a tribe with Gabe because Gabe did say that like it is part of his ideal setup was to work with somebody who was older, like he said, like grandparent age, because he felt like they were going to keep their cool and he could actually like they could plot out things without getting super paranoid or whatever.
He was not wrong.
No. So she is the oldest by like a large margin.
Yeah,
correct?
It seems like that. And usually on different seasons, there will be people on each tribe who are, you know, like there would be other people that were like in their 50s, like on maybe not in her tribe, but like in each, you know, there'd be somebody that's clearly older. It's just wild that the clearly older person was 41.
Yeah.
Gotta try.
Yeah. Not
it's not that old, folks.
But I would be nervous. I mean, I could understand wanting to work with her. And I wonder if it's just that she's so magnetic that people want to work with her, or is it because there's a different energy there that is like you want her close. You want her on your side. You know, because
I think
for me,
that's
how I would feel like going in with her, I think, is all like, ooh, you got to stay close to this one or she's going to get you. Like, you know, like you could just, that's what I get from her. Cause she's kind of a shark. I mean, she like started a pilot school and decided to learn how to fly planes at 50 years old. You know, she's,
and it's like the #1 pilot school.
Yeah. It's not like the crappy one.
She's used to taking on the men.
Yeah. So she's tough. You want her on your side, I think, more than you want to be on the opposing side.
Yes, agreed.
But and then what's the other tribe? Who did we even meet from the other tribe besides Asia? Rome a little bit and Teeny, I guess.
We met all those people.
Yeah. We did all right over there. We got a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you think the gotta goes are gonna be better?
I think they're going to be a disaster.
I mean, come on, guys. You could see it when they released the cast list when it leaked on
crumble like a pile of bricks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So and who all actually finished the trials and got their immunity? Did any of them get it done?
Gabe stopped. Gabe stopped while he was ahead.
Yeah.
He did.
Okay.
He's got it for 3 tribals. Yeah.
He's got 3 tribals, which honestly I think is the right call because every time you're risking getting caught, he's already, you know, unbeknownst to him, like TK's already onto him. Right?
No, I think he knows TK is on.
He knows TK is
no,
on to
it's
him.
not.
But
Is it TK or is it is that the tribe that Asia's on?
No, that was the Rome.
Okay.
Yeah, like everybody's
Rome's
onto
with it.
him.
Yeah,
Like,
everyone's
he's-
onto him. Yeah,
Not the sharpest tool in the shed.
TK's
really
onto Gabe.
He's that Rome fella. He's
Yeah,
quite boisterous out loud. He
definitely.
is.
But just to finish up with
Yes,
Gabe,
sorry,
I think I had no problem. I think he made the right call because I was thinking about it and like everyone gets greedy and that's fine. Like, first of all,
Quit while you're ahead,
how
dude.
often
That's my theory.
How often are idols and advantages, how often, especially in this new era, do they actually work out for the person who has them? There's that.
Right.
You always think you're going to be different, of course. But the other thing is like, it's great to have an idol that works until Final 5, but you got to get to Final 5.
Yes.
So like,
Yes.
you know.
Yes, and too many times people that have those idols are like, I can save it. I can get to one more. I can get to one more.
And then
So
they
it is
always
interesting.
just screw themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is very true.
Let's start to wrap up our thoughts here, and then we will take our very quick commercial break, and we'll do the tally the votes. So, okay.
I lost my shoes, guys. Guys, I can't find my shoes. We need to redo the commercial break.
Just go barefoot. It's fine.
Oh, I didn't say we were going to take it right now. Give me your last thoughts. It's a bummer. We know Gata is probably going to disintegrate.
Go. Yes.
Do you think that somebody so Amanda, there's a history of these tribes that implode. They go down to 2 people before there ends up being a tribe swap.
They're usually orange or yellow.
Yeah,
usually
for real. It's a color.
Usually one of those. Well, last year was purple though.
Yeah.
Usually one of those people will go on to win the game.
Yeah, or go like just real deep. At least.
Who do we think from Gata is going to go the deepest in the game?
Okay, so who do we have on that tribe? We have Annika.
Annika.
We have
Rachel.
we have Rachel. I would say Rachel. That's my gut right now. So Annika, Rachel,
Sam, Andy, and Sierra.
Sam, Andy, and Sierra. Yeah, I'm gonna go Rachel.
Okay.
She's the one with like the rainbow sweater, right?
She's the one that didn't want to. Yeah, she didn't want to.
She's the one that didn't want to. That what's his face was like, I'm having a panic attack, and she was like, leave me alone.
Ah, yes.
You do you, boo.
She was very stricken. She like very much wanted to be a good person, but also very much was aware of the game.
To be fair, something happened with my internet, and that was like the exact couple minutes of the episode that I missed. So
you did miss. I was trying to narrate it for you over text.
And I appreciate that. So I guess like I missed that part of Rachel's.
It was wild. Like he was like, "Hey, I'm freaking out," and she was like, "Cool, can we talk about this later?"
Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, I think at one point she said, "You realize that this looks bad, us being off by ourselves talking, right?"
But that makes him more panicking,
right? Which certainly doesn't help. I think it was her genuinely trying to be helpful, not realizing that it was the exact opposite thing. And that's
what he said. He was like, "I thought, I could work with Rachel," and then she was like, and that made me freak out. Yeah, you're right. I mean, if you feel like you're in a really weak moment and the person that you choose to talk to about it is like, can you not though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
No.
I just I had such a good impression of her during the beginning because she was really good at the puzzle. It looked like in the first challenge she was the one who single-handedly. She said it was a team effort, but it really looked like it was her. So I was like, "Ooh, Rachel's good at puzzles." So I don't know because otherwise, who's it going to be that's going to go deep? No, who's the guy? The not
Sam.
Andy guy? Sam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's just like a.
Bye, Sam.
First
Sam on Survivor.
Generic dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sam's like the old school archetype for the Meat Shield, they will keep him around because he's the bigger target maybe, but then try to get rid of him come merge.
Like I think Sierra will go. I think they'll pick off Andy, possibly, most likely. Sierra will go and Annika will go because she is got that like J Maya kind of like codedness.
Yes.
In which she's hey, cat, get away from my couch. Sorry. In which she's
Mom's always
taking charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like how many of them apparently were, receiving like How to Survive Survivor books, and I read this, and all the sharing of information, and then leave it to John. Like, did you read that on the internet or in a book?
Well, that's what he was trying to, you could just see. I don't know. Obviously, we've all been listening to Pod Save America / Love It or Leave It for years, but you can kind of just see his mind like at work, like, okay, here we are. I can relate to this. They think I don't know what Vine is.
Yeah, which was wild. Like Vine's so old.
Vine was first.
Yeah. I'm surprised that they know what Vines are.
Yeah. Because Vine was like during Snapchat, right?
Even more.
Even never got into it.
Vine was like coming right out of MySpace. I mean, it's been around forever. It's like pre-Tik. It's what like TikTok was birthed from Vine. So
yeah.
It is a little weird, but it also is,
ahead of its time.
They all have a certain, a certain vibe or a certain energy, and he just was too cool for it, I guess.
Yeah, well, and honestly, they did all kind of have like mean girl energy for the most part.
Yeah, even kind of did.
Even
just
Rachel, all like the 4 like young pretty people just all together.
Always a tribe like that, and even Rachel, who you would think probably would in real life vibe more with an Andy and a Lovett than the others. Like, they accepted her, said she wants to win this game. So of course, what is she gonna do?
Yeah, which makes sense.
I have to be completely honest, is that Rachel actually received my lowest score.
Oh.
No way.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I will tell you, it is, I wrote nice things, about how her ability to play the game, but the vibe for me instantaneously was like, nah. Like, nah.
You had her as pre-merge. Jack and I had her as merge.
Yep.
Also, we'll talk about this in a second. All right, real quick, let's finish this up. I don't think Sue. Do we think she's gonna make it? We think she's gonna make it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think she's gonna go
boss,
far.
for sure.
I think but I think that whole tribe is just gonna go to the merge almost intact.
Just
probably.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I could see Rome going if they do end up. What is Rome? Rome's on that tribe. I could see him going because he rubs people the wrong way if he's on that tribe.
Also, I
everyone's
think it would be very delightful television if that whole immunity idol thing blows up in his face royally. I feel like that would. I don't mean ill upon the man, but I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah,
television.
but I give him
so
been
much
credit.
We've had some people fight for idols and then only to not play it and go home with it, and it's been like, oh no,
one after another another.
Oh my god, last season was wild.
Yes.
Last season was the worst. Like, I hope we never get that again. I hated that.
Yeah.
So I think, Amanda, maybe we talked about this, but on the broadcast, but like last season, there were like 5 people in a row that went home with idols in their pocket, and it was insane.
Yeah,
that's like
nobody was
humanity, like holding on to your favorite card because you're afraid to play it too early.
Exactly. You just gotta, and which is why I think Gabe made the right call. Just like quit while you're ahead.
But the most delicious part about it was that every single one of them, past the first person, talked so much smack on the person who walked out with an idol, and then who went out with,
and then they went home next. That was
But I'm saved tonight. Yes. And I will, the last thing that I will say about Lovett, and then I promise I will stop talking about him.
It's okay.
Randy, we're still talking about Jelinski. You're allowed to talk about Lovett as long as you want.
I mean, it is season 47.
Okay, first of all, Jeff is Jeff is the one still talking about Jelinski. I am shocked that it was. I can't believe that a Jelinski reference wasn't in the intro today.
I fully almost. I mean, not really, but I kind of expected him to introduce it as season 47, but then I was like, no, of course, that's like, yeah. But anyway, the one thing I will say about Lovett is that I was very upset that he was voted out. And then afterwards, I just remembered that on the latest episode of Love It or Leave It, he did have Jane Fonda on the show, and then I was like, he's okay. Like he's kicking way more ass than anyone else. So
yeah.
The kids are all right.
The kids are okay.
Wasn't in it for the money. Was in it for the glory.
Yeah.
Yes, but it is a bummer because I'm a big Lovett fan. So
huge bummer. I hope he gets a chance to go back. I really, really do.
Shandy, on Twitter and Instagram, I posted the picture of when we met him, and
I saw that.
I'm from Long Island.
Yes. Yes.
All right, let's take a commercial break here, and then let's very quickly run through the tally the votes, okay?
All right,
here we go.
What does that mean?
Here we go. All right, we are back. You know what? I just realized that I did not look at Amanda's so confused. I don't edit this show. I just basically note the time that we take the break, and then I put the break in and I post it.
Got it.
Yeah. I just realized that I never pulled up the email to see if we actually have any feedback.
There has to be something from Andy.
Okay, well, I just opened the broadcaster's email because that's what I'm conditioned to do when you two are with me.
The visual triggers tell me to open these emails. Yes.
Exactly. Okay, here we go. Oh, seriously? I don't know the password.
I haven't been in the broadcast email in a while.
You're gonna go back to your tribe with nothing.
I'm going back to my tribe with nothing. All right, I got it. You're signed in. All right, here we go. Is there anything? Oh, we don't even. Not only do we have something from Mandy, we have something from Victoria.
Victoria.
I love that Shandy does all of Jack's cues.
Amanda and I are here to fill his shoes, so I'm trying to,
All right, real quick. Mandy says, I'm so bummed that John was first. He would have been such a great narrator to the season. So I guess my winner's pick is now she wrote Asia Sam.
Asia or Sam, huh?
She wrote it as one word.
Asia
They're
Sam.
gonna share it.
Asia
Have they ever had a dual winner?
You are tied. You are not the lone survivor.
They had a tie one time.
Are you talking about Rupert when he also got $1 million?
Wait, no, I'm talking about Dom and Wendell and what's her face had to in third place had to break the tie.
Tiebreaker.
It's one of my lost seasons that I've never watched. I mean, not a season of Lost, but it's
now, Shandy,
Lost Survivor seasons.
This is where if you are doing Jack's lines, we mentioned Rupert, so we need your Rupert impression.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I won $1 million. I can't do it.
There it is. That works. It's as good as Jack's.
Right.
You got it. You got the job.
Jack's, you're right. It might be better than Jack's. All right. Speaking of Wendell and Jamie and Mandy also sent an email after the whatever it was that we did.
The premiere sneak.
Jamie wanted a recap of the Survivor event on Saturday, so here it goes.
Yes.
The Survivor Instagram did a vote on where to do an event. It was in Nashville, Minneapolis, and another city I can't remember. Nashville won. The girls and I were so excited.
Oh, cool.
We got downtown around 11. The event was 12 to 5. It was already a long line. We got in line, and every 10 minutes or so, the event staff would come and have us move closer together in zigzagging lines. A friend who arrived later told me the line was down to 2 more blocks, and we were in the top 5%. The event starts. The line doesn't seem. Gosh, I can't. Oh, I've got my glasses on my head.
Put
Jeez,
the
Louise,
spectacles on.
Here we go. The event starts. The line does not seem to move. Turns out, from what I've seen others post, there were a lot of people arriving and just getting in the front of the line.
Oh,
line cutters,
jerks.
At 1:35, so again, they got there at 11. At 1:35, it started to rain a little, and the event staff came and told our area they were ending the line. The end of the line was 10 or 15 people in front of us. And then it started to I know that sucks, to downpour, and the walk to the car sucked. On the way out, I got a photo with Sifu. Oh, I forgot about Sifu.
Yeah.
Other survivors I've seen there were Boston Rob, Charlie, Mama J, Julie, Q, Elaine, Keith, and Whitney. Sam from this coming season. Oh, that sportscaster guy.
Yep.
Sifu, Chrissy, Caleb, Jam, and Davey were also there. No Jeff. The event was so poorly planned. Attaches a picture of where the location was. It was a parking lot. If you've been to Nashville, you know downtown is a mess. As a native Nashvilleian, it's got to be something good to go. And there are a lot of open places that they could have held the event. Overall, it was a disappointment. But the good news is I got my ticket to see the Bryce and Wen live show in October. Can't wait for this season. She says, my winner's pick is Asia, John, Sam. So that's where the other email comes in.
Gotcha.
So she's
the three.
Yeah. Yes.
The three.
That's how it worked.
All right.
All right. And then finally, Victoria. Victoria says, yeah, so excited. Today is my birthday.
Happy birthday.
So I had the best week, and then it was topped off with a mental health episode of Survivor. She's a psychotherapist, Amanda.
There was a lot of juicy bits in this one.
There was.
Thank you for your service.
As a therapist, the first 10 minutes, I told everyone that Andy was showing severe anxiety from the start. I'm loving the pairings this year. This is my first episode assessment. The yellow team is the manipulative tribe. Or as we call them, the mean girls.
Yep.
Everyone on this team uses something to manipulate people. Andy, emotional manipulation. John, word manipulations. Annika, knowledge manipulation. Sierra, beauty manipulation. And Rachel, strategy manipulation. She didn't say Sam. I'm just going to probably also go with white dude manipulation.
Just being a good-looking young white male.
Yep. That tracks. I think so.
The red team, the usual vibe team. We all vibe. The blue team is the Marylanders. As a Marylander, she's from Maryland. We stay doing the most, quote unquote. So far, the men are playing what they think is the best way to stay on the island. Can't wait to see if Baltimore goes against PG County since, that's Prince something County? Since both of those areas do not claim Prince George County. There's a Prince William County in Virginia, I think. But I don't know about, Prince George County, since most of those areas do not claim each other, since one is the DMV and the other is Baltimore. We didn't talk about like how they're all broing out on that tribe.
The bromance.
The bromance. I feel like the girls are going to take care of that pretty quick.
Yep. I'm not worried about it. I really feel you're
I
right.
think that they're going to be like, no. And then they're going to pick at the weakest man and get their fourth, and it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
That's always happens. I can't wait to see how this season goes because I can already see cracks and some strong players rising up early. And side note, what's with all the media jobs this season?
Right?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
I
it's a
was
lot.
wondering about that
Media,
myself.
broadcasting, podcasting.
Because they're all probably out of work because the media industry is shrinking.
Yes.
So they all have the time to go be in a reality
You
show.
can take 6 weeks off. It's fine.
They just got laid off. They took their severance and they went on a reality TV
How
show.
much do you think Lovett wanted when they were like, "Is your podcast, is it big?" He's like, "We do okay." We'll be like, "Yes, I've got like 2 million listeners."
Right? I know. I hate missing out on the reveal of those things. It's just one of my like absolute favorite things in Survivor and Big Brother and Traitors and any game where it's like you gotta like keep your reality close to your hip. I love those reveals where it's like, oh, and by the way, I'm like the most successful attorney in San Francisco, and everyone's like, what?
Yeah.
So
Although I will say he had a really funny confessional where he was like, yeah, I worked for Hillary Clinton. I used to write speeches for Obama. And now when I introduce myself, I have to tell people that I'm a bleeping podcaster. Which is like the best burn to all the others.
So funny.
Twitter hated that. They like all of RHAP Twitter.
Oh, come
Mike
on.
Boom, Josh Wigler.
I
They
love
were
it.
No, get
Were they
over yourselves,
butthurt because they
people.
are just podcasters?
Yeah.
Like,
I think
The joke
Freddie,
stands. It's a
Freddie
solid
little
joke.
here.
it's
is.
probably
It is.
it's probably booing, with a little side smile.
I hope so, because it was
Dalton. I just clicked over to Survivor Twitter though, and Dalton Ross has his. I'm sorry. That's the thing that you shared yesterday. Just kidding. Okay, back to the end of the email. We are finishing up right now. And she said, I can't wait to see how this season goes because I can already see some cracks. Media jobs. Of all the jobs in the world, they found 2 people with podcasts, a commentator, and a radio host. It just seems like I was watching the same job be explained over and over again. Sorry, this is a long email, but I'm happy to be back. Us too. We're happy to have you.
Yes.
All right, let's move into our tally the votes section of the show. This Amanda should go pretty quickly.
Okay.
All right, so John Levitt went home. Let me share my screen here. Hold on. It's been so long since I've done this. I mean, it's been since Sunday. All right. Tally the votes. Where's my tally the votes? Here we are. All right. Here we are. So we're gonna make our winners pick, and then we'll get our votes for what just happened right now. So,
oh my God, are Amanda and I doing a winner's pick for Jack?
No, Jack sent us one before he went to sleep.
Good, because I was like, I feel very.
But you can probably
feel like it's a pop quiz situation.
But Shandy, you could probably guess,
out, right?
Well, I have.
Yes,
mine,
you get.
but...
Yes, you guys can get your next week's out.
Yeah.
All right. So, moving over here, love it. Jamie and Jack both had him pre-merge. I had him making the merge. So Jamie and Jack both get a point. I have 0 points. And that's all she wrote. Oh, actually, Jack had first one out.
Oh my God!
He gambled. He
gambled one out, so he got it. So now Jack is ahead 2-1.
Wow.
So let's pick who we think is going home next week, and then we can do our winners pick. Jamie, do you want to start? Amanda and Shandy, you guys come up with somebody for Jack, and I can
I'll
go
text
first.
you, Amanda.
Okay.
Okay.
And hopefully I remember who that person is.
I am probably for out next week. I'm gonna go ahead and say Andy because I have him for merge and final 3. So if that all just goes to hell, at least I get a point out of it. So
okay. I also am gonna say Andy. And I'm only gonna say that because I feel like the Mean Girls aren't ready to turn on themselves yet. Yeah, but I could definitely see it being. You know what? I'm gonna go with Sierra just for point diversity. I'll go with Sierra.
Was already out there, right?
Yeah. Well, no, Annika's
no, it was Annika.
Annika.
But I think that they like Annika, so I'm gonna go with Sierra because I feel like Andy's a loyal foot soldier, so they're not gonna get him unless he freaks out again. And
looks like
Sierra,
he might be, though. Although the previews are never right. You just take whatever you see in the preview and then do the opposite. So yeah,
exactly.
Well, we know that Andy's going to have a bomb that he drops to Sam. We just don't know what.
If you guys need more time, Amanda and Shandy, Sherry is here. She said, dang, I missed the whole thing. Just jumping in now. I thought you guys were doing this tomorrow. My bad. I misunderstood. Would have loved to spend the whole time with y'all.
Oh,
we go back and
well, pull up a chair. We're still here.
We're still here. Let's do the thing. Come on.
So unless Amanda has a different opinion, I also was thinking Andy.
All right.
I think a story is forming there.
I think that's who Jack would pick too, to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I do too.
All right. Winner's pick. Jack, I'll just go with Jack's. Anybody have any guesses who Jack thought?
Well, my winner's pick now after Love It would be Asia, but that's also just like part of the fandom. So I don't. I mean, although I do legitimately think that she's like looking good, but
yeah.
I do as well. Okay. Jack went with Sue.
Oh,
I was gonna say I like Sue.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty wise choice. I don't think that's misguided in any way.
Yeah.
All right. So here's how it works. If your winner's pick goes all the way to the end and wins, you get 15 points. If they go out of the game, you get a new winner's pick. You get 10 points then, 5 points, and then 1 point after that. Those are the J rules. No, those are the rules we improved upon from Jay.
We built on the foundation that he created for the rules.
Yes, we did. Okay. Who is next?
I-
Jamie, you want to go or want me to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go because my final three were Andy and Asia and Tiana, and unfortunately, I didn't get any information on Tiana. Like
we barely got Tiana. You are right.
Which really stinks because I feel like she.
It could mean that she's the winner.
Yeah, I
Quite
mean,
honestly.
but I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna go with Asia because this is how I played Big Brother this year with my winners pick. I'm picking who I want to win, not who I necessarily really feel will win, but that's who I'm rooting for the most.
Awesome.
Okay, I like that. I kind of want to go with Asia as well.
Do it.
I know, but point diversity.
Hey, I mean, we both went for Carolyn, right? Like
That's true, and she was robbed.
And she was.
She was.
All right, I'll go with Asia. So there we go. All right, here we go, everybody. That wraps up a successful preview show. A little longer than usual. Sorry about that, guys. All right, I can't type and talk at the same time, but there we are. There we are. All right. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you to the patrons, especially the ones that contribute a certain level. And that would be Eckhart Rickner, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, Ed the Creepy Poopy Head Mailman. Thanks, guys, so much. We appreciate it. And yeah, we'll be back next week live. I think it's only 90 minutes next week. So we'll be live at 9:45 at night Eastern time. Yes. Hope to see you then. If you have any email, if you have any feedback and you can't make it live, send us an email. Thebroadcasters3 at geez Louise. See, I see you guys.
I mean, you can send it there too. We like feedback.
I see you guys, and I'm just triggered. I'm sorry. SurvivorJJC at gmail.com. Listen to us on the broadcast.
Yeah. Where we sometimes talk about Survivor. It's more like Colleen and Jenny talk about Survivor, and I just kind of and sometimes ask stupid questions.
Amanda, you think you'll watch more of this season, or are you out?
I don't know. I mean, it was very exciting, but it's also a real time commitment. So like now that I don't have the incentive to watch, I think you guys tell me if it still stays exciting, maybe I'll come back. But I don't think I'll watch next week.
All right, fair enough. All right, Jack, we'll be back next week though. So on that note, we will see you then. My name is Colleen.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Shandy.
Peace out, everybody. Bye. Oh shit! Did I get you, Amanda? Did I cut you off?
I think who cares?
I'm here.
I'm an interloper here.
Again, I'm used to 3 people.
I know. I was like, no, this is not your show. Don't say your name next. Don't say your name. It's not your show. It's not your show. Keep your mouth shut.
Let's do this again. My name is Colleen.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Shandy.
And I'm Amanda.
All right. Bye, everybody. Peace out.
Bye.